So today, guys, we're going to really be focusing on the action plan. And the action plan hopefully is kind of clear to you guys in the sense of a lot of you know the resources you have available to you. But I want to just quickly start with a poll because I want to just know who is actually using these resources. Number one, the poll that I'm launching right now is specifically the StreetText Academy course that we built. I want to know if you've actually gone through it. If you haven't, that's cool too, because we can get that to you. But what we try to do is we try to create an academy that essentially breaks down every resource that we could think of from top to bottom, from ad level to automation level to conversion, you name it. And we're always updating it. But we also want to make it easy for you too. We want to break it down to like a Cliff Notes version as well. So we're going to just quickly take a poll and see, wow, a big part of you haven't yet completed the StreetText Academy. That's totally cool. But yeah, Troy and I are going, and that makes sense. So you guys might want to understand too, the Academy itself is not meant for you to go from top to bottom all the way through. It's just a one-stop resource that you can actually skip to sections that are important to you. You know what I mean? If you want to focus on conversion, you go to conversion. If you want to focus on ad creation, you go to ad creation. And then we're going to quickly highlight the other part of this in the action plan, which is specifically the resources and classes you have every week that you can attend. All right. I'm new here. I'm up for any available training. I like that. One of my favorite quotes is, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Cool. I'm going to end this poll. I think we got enough. 39 out of 45, 86% of you voted. And let's show the results. An astonishing 36% of you. Okay, so maybe we can open this up really quickly. So for those of you who completed the course, give us some feedback. What do you like? What would you like more of? And then for those of you that haven't, you can speak up too and say, get me the course, or just tell us why you're not doing it. Because I think a big part of this is kind of figuring out this program in the sense of you got to brand it, you got to make it yours. It's a Facebook lead generation solution that really is only as good as your ability to come in there and customize it, if that makes sense. So nobody who wants to share first?
Wendy jumped in the comments and said she's just winging it. Well, let us save you the time. Don't wing it. Go through there and figure out how to set all this stuff up. It's really just like your basic 101. So it's a great place even just to go back and check. Maybe there's things that you didn't even know, functions that you didn't even know are available. So
I agree. I just had a really good teacher named Logan, so he set me up properly and we just went with it. So I know there's so much more to StreetText than what I
Logan is the Academy. Hey.
Remind me where to send the check for saying nice things about Wendy. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's just quickly highlight for those of you that are kind of figuring out, well, what's the StreetText Academy? Like, the StreetText Academy is essentially set up as a class, a course curriculum. So the obvious stuff you don't need to go through. I mean, if you've been to a demo, you're going to realize that you can update your settings, but we just want those resources there for you. Pulling in your Facebook review and your brand. Okay, how do you activate Julie, your SMS? You're going to want to learn actually that you can customize her, especially now we know in the insider group. Hint, hint, by the way, guys, before I move forward, if you're not in the Facebook Insider group and you're not actually participating in the discussion, you're losing out, because there's a lot of things that people are putting in on a daily that we update and that we pull back into the course. Or if we have something that you need help on, usually there's a discussion topic on there. So just realize that group in itself is so cool, and we'll show you how to use it, but you can actually search for topics. There's a little search feature. So the getting started section, And we're always updating. So anytime you see a little star there, it means we've updated it. So you'll see this is a perfect resource to come back to. Even if you completed it, you want to come back to it because we're adding, we're taking away, we're pulling in more information to it. And so whether it's ad and funnel building, how to find the lowest cost leads, you guys know the split test by now, but it's something you want to reinforce when you're building it, or customizing your StreetText from within the dashboard. And that's going to be autoresponders, editing SMS and email automations, how to embed video, right? Some of those things. How about creating new images with ads using Canva or an email signature, right? A lot of you haven't put your email signature in then. So a big part of that is kind of leaning on these resources and kind of building examples where not only are you pulling in your own brand into it, but you're making sure that you have formats that look like this, and you have an email signature that goes with everybody and with every email you send. And then of course, lead conversion strategies, I think, are some of the coolest scripts that we've found and work really well. So yes, if you need it, just put it in the chat feature right there and we'll make sure you get it. Okay. Any questions on that, guys? Or any feedback? Hey, this is a mastermind.
I see Miles was talking about nice to see little extra tricks and features in there. And we've been talking about that too. What we want to do is pull the content apart a little bit. So we give that to new people that are coming in, and we don't want to overwhelm them. So we're working on pulling out some of the basics and then kind of adding more for those of you who've been with us a little bit longer. So stuff like Miles you're talking about there, adding a little extra to that academy, so that we don't want to give all of the little we say this is about eating, a huge elephant. And how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. So the course right now is great, but there's lots of bites of that elephant. So what we want to do is pull out some of the basics for people when they're starting, and then add extra to it for you as you step a little bit further into the process. So for sure, Miles, love that.
Yeah, and we'll parlay that with an easier way of, so some people don't like to just go through an academy. They're more interactive. I want to see it, I want to feel it, I want to experience it. And that's where we really want to highlight that everybody should have the Calendly/StreetText link, because here's all the classes and training that we have available, that where we're kind of breaking down the academy and making it applicable so that we can actually walk you through it in group trainings. So whether it's, hey, by the way, the standard demo Facebook lead generation 30 minutes, some of you guys just should continue coming to it just to reinforce the split test to get great seller leads. Because the split test itself that we talk about, it applies to every funnel. And when you open up to your live account, it's going to be the equity conversion tab. It's going to be the, enter your address, receive your home value. It's all about the split test to get low cost leads. So just realize no matter what ad you run, buyer, seller, listings, the split test is what's revealing to you the audience itself that is taking action. And the audience itself, if you get a low cost lead, you'll have predictability. If you're not, you're going to need to turn off that ad. But we can go through a lot of these different these courses. So this one's basically set up Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern. This Facebook lead conversion class we just started is a perfect opportunity to come in. And I know some of you, if you've been there, you feel free to tell us about your experience so far. But this is a great class just to work on everything once that lead comes to you, whether it's the auto emails they're sending out, the personal emails that we're sending out, how to use Julie in the SMS, role playing, all of that is awesome. This is the conversion class. So if you want to work on just any part of that, once the lead comes to you, this is the class to come to. That's Tuesday, Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then the mastermind, you guys are here obviously every once a week. Ad tweaks class hosted by Steve and Logan. You guys can talk a little bit about what your experience has been on leading these classes so far and what people should expect when they come here. And then Logan has just opened up the custom ad class. And again, Logan and Steve are hosting that. I'll let you guys kind of touch on those classes and when those are available.
So the ad tweaks class, this is a great class if you've got any questions at all about your ads. So we host that class a few times a week, and you're welcome to come and literally ask anything. You can ask questions about Facebook. You can ask a question about, how do you know if your ad's performing well or not performing well? It's also a really good class too. If you've had ads running for a while and maybe the performance starts falling off and you want to relaunch some of your ads, but maybe you forgot how to do that, or you just want to make sure that you're doing it right, it's a great class. So use it. We'll go over everything from like how to read it from your ROI standpoint. We can go through a bunch of different things on the account. So it's a great refresher class. And then also I can just provide really good insight. So we've had numerous people that come to those classes, launch an ad early in the week with me, and then come back a couple of days later and join the class again. So I can take a look at how the ad's performing and give them insight. So definitely recommend it. I mean, obviously I'm biased because I run it. I think it's great. No, but it really is a good class if you're just looking for a quick refresher. And then Logan, if you want, you can talk about
the custom ad class is really for those who've been interested in trying a custom angle, right? I mean, if you're looking to just increase the performance of your templated ads, going to Steve's class there, really good opportunity once again to get some insight and get things looked at. But if you're looking for a new angle, given what's happening around us, there's always the necessity to try something new, right? So come to that class, you'll get the opportunity to see kind of what people are doing, how to run these custom ads. We always go over, custom automations. So after you build a custom ad, how do you then schedule in emails and text messages and edit everything through there? So anything to do with custom ads will be covered in that course. And essentially what we're going to start doing is putting out the ad we're going to be covering for that week slightly before, either Monday or the previous Friday. So everybody knows this is the ad we're going to be building. And yeah, just a good opportunity to learn more about the custom angle.
And I wanted to jump in there. Joe was going to join us this morning, but he couldn't join us. I don't see him here yet. But I was talking to him about an ad tweaks class he went to. So Joe had gone to an ad tweaks class and he had good ad performance, but it inspired him to push a little bit further. So he decided to use one of other templates after attending it with Steven there. And he uploaded an image of just a street corner in an area that he wanted to use and did the home value that way. His ad performance just went through the roof. He split tested it. He was getting a $1.80 emails, where before that he was happy with $4 and something emails. So that was just because he went to that ad tweaks class and made him think outside the box and maybe decide to split test a little bit more and see what he could come up with, as well as he had a particular area he was looking at. So he was come up with ideas to do that. So he was crazy excited after he came back from that class, because it just inspired him to test a little bit more and launch a couple split tests. And now he was happy with what he was getting before, but the whole idea of tweaking it. So he was ready to tweak it. He had his automations in place. He was comfortable what was going out. He had moved beyond the trial. He'd been with us for a bit. He's like, okay, let's tweak it and see how much further I can push this. So that he was excited about that. So definitely go just to trigger something in your brain, as well as just listen to other people. You might not have a question, but I'll jump on an ad tweaks class and listen to it in the background so that I can kind of get thinking a different way, because somebody else asks a question that I never thought of. So that's the other part of it. Don't feel like you have to come to these classes with questions. Maybe you come to them to listen to other people's questions, and it triggers a different way of thinking for you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Irad. And that's a good point too, because a lot of people that have come to the class, they've only ever run one type of ad. So it's a great opportunity to try something new, and you can try it with my help. So you're not doing it all on your own. So I can kind of walk you through different things for your market. It's also a great class to come to if you've never tried a buyer ad before and you want to try something a little bit different. Or in the case of Joe, maybe just a small change might have a big impact on your ads. And it also might not, but at least you're going to classes with somebody that can take a look at the ads with you. So if they do go off, we can look at that together and come up with another strategy or another approach to try something new. So yeah, I think it's just a great class for testing, trying, and just getting kind of re-familiar with how the ads work, especially since we have so many platforms available. It's hard to sometimes know which one should I try.
I'll second that. I mean, so a lot of you, you're lucky because you get an ad, it's performing, and there's predictability behind it, and you really have no need to change it. But how do you know you can't beat that and split that lead cost in half? So the idea of split testing often, you know, if you settle in on a great cost per lead, awesome. But there's also other different seller templates and buyer templates, and you should understand if you get a listing, you want to market that because it works incredibly. And let me just highlight that when you're feeling a little overwhelmed when you get into an available template and you're like, oh my gosh, where do I even begin? Well, everybody obviously begins here because of how successful this ad campaign is. If you look at this across the board, there's 12,220 out of this last month currently testing out this ad. And they're getting close to 6 to 7 out of 10 clicks still with everything that's going on become a submission. So your cost per lead, $2.16, $18 a phone number, $5.97. That's average, right? Your market is unique. Your marketplace on Facebook is unique. So split testing will reveal to you that low cost lead for you, but you're also wanting to think about, well, if I have if another account, maybe right now it's how much do you want to know your home's current value and how much equity you've gained? Maybe you want to test that out for a split test. Maybe you want to take this out for a split test and try it with a satellite or a terrain image. Sometimes it's not just the standard map image. Another thing that you want to consider is that whether we've got buyers right now, you want to stick to conversion on most things. Don't worry about traffic. We'll be revealing to you anytime that we think traffic or page posts is a good launch for you. So I wouldn't touch those at the moment until Steve or Logan see something differently. Focus on conversion. And then lead ads, anytime you see a lead ad associated to a funnel, that's Facebook specific capture. So we're actually using our templates, but Facebook will pull all that information through the Facebook lead ad, which captures all their information up front. And it works extremely well for certain type of ads. So this buyer campaign right here is really easy to set up. It's producing on average, you know, there's 227 active people getting about a $3.82 phone number right now. That's pretty awesome. So there's one that you might want to check on the buyer side. And then here's the listing lead ad, which is really easy to set up. Again, producing something similar in terms of a $3 to $4 phone number when being tested properly. I really like this one right now for the seller side. Most people don't see this one, but this is getting actually out of all the seller ads at the moment, it's getting the lowest cost lead. This is what's your home really worth conversion. And it's producing a $1.95 lead right now. There's 600 active people testing this one out. So it's a really good solid performance. About a $15 phone number, which is a lot lower than the other one, and a cost per email under $5, actually $4.93 on average. So, but most people, what they don't realize is when they set this guy up, you could pick an image from stock like a home. I actually suggest you actually pull one of your own images in, something that's more local to your area. And that right there, like I've seen Stacy from Oregon and Bend produce like a beautiful mountain backdrop, like Leon at that mountain backdrop or something. That would be something more as a landmark or as a aerial view. We've seen people actually use like a local clock that everybody knows in the area. Don't do the cookie cutter home. Do something that's unique to the area that most people in there would resonate with. But that funnel right there is producing the lowest cost leads we've seen on the seller side at the moment. So that's definitely worthy to test out. So remember, you've got so many options, and then there's a custom listing ad and so forth. So it begins with just simply going out there and testing that. If you're like, how do I even begin? The ad tweaks class might be a good start for you.
Hey, I know that Brian Price has a question here too. Brian, maybe you could share that question now.
Well, thank you. So I'm doing a whole revamp of all of my branded site because real estate's not about me. It's about helping my client through that whole transaction. Right now, our charities here in the city of Windsor are in desperate needs of funds, and I've been donating to them as much as possible. But since I'm doing the revamp of the website as well too, I asked the local Humane Society if I could sponsor them into my website. And of course, they've got a way to be able to do that. So I'm doing that. I'll have my website developer just bring that in right away. What I'm planning on doing is either $250 or $500 of every transaction for the next year at least from my own earned commission will be donated to the Windsor Essex County Humane Society. The question that I have is, if I ran a specialized ad, is that what you're talking about with these specialized things that would make me a little bit different in the whole Facebook feed too, where I could run, you know, like a puppy and a real estate kind of thing, a split type of photo, and that way it can pull in, you know, what's your home worth, or are you looking to buy or sell? Here's what I'm running right now. Is that what you're kind of talking about with a customized Facebook ad?
Yeah, Brian, that would be a great place with Logan. So Logan, that custom ad class, that's what you do. You kind of come with your idea and bounce it off of Logan, as well as other people that attend it. And the whole thing, the strategy you always got to think of is test, don't guess. There are times where we're like, oh, this is going to be an awesome idea. And you launch it and you sit back and you're like, oh, it didn't really hit the way I thought it was. So let's go at it a different way. So the ad might seem like it's going to get a lot of traction. So along with learning that, you know, the audience is important. So you got to make sure you're testing to multiple audiences, but also looking at the performance on the other end of it and keep tweaking the idea. And that's the whole idea of the ads tweak, is keep tweaking what's already working to see if you can get it performing better. But then if you do something custom, there's a lot more tweaking that has to go on because it's brand new idea. So take that brand new idea to Logan. And then what we've been talking about, Logan, is like having people come back. Like if you build something custom, like come back to us and let us know how it's doing so we can learn from it too. We all learn together, not by guessing at what's going to work, but by actually testing it and seeing the numbers on the other end of it. And I think Logan should share more on that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Brian, I mean, obviously I'd like to meet with you and get some more insight as to exactly what you're wanting to run. That sounds more like kind of an information dissemination post as opposed to a sponsored ad. Because, you know, when you're looking at lead gen, it's giving the individual on the other end an opportunity to, you know, to hit your call to action. I want to meet with you because this, I want you to give me your information so that I can in turn give you your home value or whatever. There does need to be kind of a carrot at the end of the stick. So when you're promoting yourself, that's not necessarily in the angle of lead gen, but it can certainly be used in conjunction with lead generation ads. So it's not going to be like a carousel where they might see this and then this, right? I mean, you can have your whole series of ads set up. Some are doing lead gen, some are, once again, disseminating information as to whatever you'd like. In fact, that's something, you know, in that end, what I'm starting to see people do now is looking at Instagram very much like that, because Instagram for lead gen, I'd say isn't quite where Facebook is now, but the Instagram audience in 5 to 6 years will certainly be of age and in our kind of key demographics. So people who are putting very, very, very low cost information posts to Instagram and letting them run for like $1 a day, let them run for a very, very low amount and just kind of get yourself in front of that audience so that as they age, you're essentially like their superstar. If that makes any sense. It's like you ask my son who his favorite person is, it's probably going to be a YouTuber, right? So, you know, and as he ages, you know, in the next 6-7 years, whatever it is, when he's ready to start, you know, looking at his own home, should some famous YouTuber then be a realtor, that's who's going to use. So in that sense, once again, starting to put stuff out on, you know, your information dissemination posts, especially on Instagram, to find those people, I think that would be wise, but certainly not built as a lead gen type of ad.
Yes.
But again,
I would have said the only way I might have considered something like that is if you were going to use a Humane Society picture as your picture instead of like the clock or the famous landmark. If it's something they know and they look at it, and you might go into Canva and dress it like, hey, we're giving back, are you? I would not give a dollar figure. I'd just say we're giving back, or we're giving. Just the idea is, the hook is to get them to open it and see what it is you're talking about. But if you do that, something we don't do enough in here, and I was guilty of that too, I started revamping into just my VA market. It's not a one-trick pony. You can't have just one thing. So do not count on StreetText ad as just your only thing. Back it up with videos. We always talk about this. I would do the Humane Society. I'd do the hook. I would have a video down there, go talk to the guy. I know Lori Nader has done some stuff where she does her neighborhood. She went out and talked to business owners and put them on there. Get about, be the man about or woman or person about the neighborhood, the area, whatever. Sell yourself that you are the area expert. So if you haven't done a YouTube channel, go house your videos there. It costs you nothing to store it. Build a YouTube channel, put the stuff in there, go ahead and get your StreetText ad running. When it pulls them to your Facebook page, your ads from YouTube, the video, are already there. So they'll go ahead, they'll look at the, oh wow, what's this? They click on it, you drive them over to where you're at, and you have a better time to drive your message home, because you have them for 15, 20 seconds. If you don't have their attention, they're gone online. So once you get them into your Facebook channel and start going and they're looking, mix your content up, do whatever, and then when you have the videos and it pulls them to YouTube channel, the 3 biggest search engines out there, Google, YouTube, Facebook. Combine all 3, get them working, because Google, when you have 50 videos or more, they recognize you and they find you. Facebook, it takes 3 minutes. Google doesn't care. So I would start mixing a combination of stuff like that. And definitely, if you're gonna go with a picture that's different than the stock stuff, for you, I would definitely make a hook, Brian, to get them to look at what it is. And then, like I said, human nature is the best thing. If you're talking to the Humane Society or whatever, and they look at you like, oh my God, they're looking at it, but I never give a figure. Giving back to the community or this or that. They know you're doing it. So, don't never give a price. Sell yourself on the action that you're doing.
Yeah, Leon, that's awesome. And a lot of people that are shooting Facebook Lives, they don't realize they can also download those and upload that to YouTube, right? So, sometimes you're not going to want to.
One thing I want to throw in there for grins. I was down in Arizona last week, and it was kind of hilarious because I said, all right, I got to start putting some of this stuff to work. Everybody has projects. I always say I put my stuff in my notes in my phone. So I did a Facebook Live. Matter of fact, it was hilarious. I did this on purpose. Wednesday when I left, I was in the group, kind of shared with you guys, getting out there, getting on an airplane, taking off. And I did Facebook Live. And the thing is, start posting to your stories. I had several hundred people follow me all the way home. So when I got on the airplane, I was talking about Seattle, I took the picture out the window, got down to Phoenix, and I took pictures inside SeaTac, said crickets. You gotta have some humor in there, even now. So I got down to Phoenix, I go, oh, still crickets. And then, just showing along. So, okay, I stopped in Page, Arizona for the night. It's a resort area. And it's a little different when all your food is to go. Everything's changed still traveling. And as the country opens up a bit and everywhere in the world, you'll get this. But I got home, and like I said, I had altogether probably 300 or 400 people just following through the stories. And people are commenting about, oh, I just love this. So I'm not as hot. Like, maybe I'll try what Marcus is saying about making everybody my friend in the stuff. But I'm going to start posting more in my business page to get stuff out there. Because as you get the traffic going, you want them to come back and go, hey, what's Brian doing today? Hey, what's Al doing today? Hey, what's Sarah doing today? You ain't got to be a full-length novel. Just make it a short click. Hey, just checking on you. I do safety check every Friday for grins. Just safety check. How's everybody doing? Get a response. Then you sit down and respond to them. But the idea for engagement is give them something to engage to, and then you engage back.
Well said. Well said. Wendy, you there? I don't know if she lost.
I'm here.
Okay, perfect. So a lot of people are looking for video resources. One of the things that I want to acknowledge, a couple of things real quickly. If you're all in the StreetText Insider group, pay attention to the announcements. So if you guys, Logan or Troy or Ira, whoever, take that link right there and copy it and make sure all of you are bookmarking it, because the announcement section, we try to put the top pinned posts. So for example, obviously right now, this mastermind is live and it's in the announcement. This video challenge that we're doing, we've got 54 comments of people sending their videos. If you guys are looking for video examples, this is a perfect place, right? And for those of you that have videos in your automations, have yet to put it in the comments section, shame on you. I'm joking. All right. And then, and anything we think would be helpful for you, this from Jennifer Salter, she's getting really good open rates. this is the StreetText action plan. So more of what we're talking about here, but broken down with quick descriptions and where you can get into those classes from. And then, yeah, so I did a custom listing ad example, and I showed everybody how to use Canva and set up your own listing and use the redirect link. So there's a lot of gold in here. Here's a virtual CMA asking for a video tour that Stacy Sebastian did using HomeBot because they asked to tune their value request. For those of you who are trying to figure out HomeBot as well, this is an awesome opportunity to, as an example, to show how Stacy Sebastian introduces HomeBot. And then Ira's made some emails here that he's tweaked for the times. And we could pin anything for that matter, but also the search this group feature. So you can almost search for anything. If you typed in address only, for example, anything in the search feature in this group, you're going to get loaded with a bunch of examples. And then you can start filtering the results too by specific people, the most recent. So don't forget the filter results too when you're searching in this group for things that you're looking for, right? As the Academy as well. Okay. Now, I know that's a lot, but another thing I wanted to help you guys understand is that when you know what your process is, because it's always the speed to experience or speed to relationship, everybody is all about generating leads, but a big part of that is setting up the experience. So if you look at Jessica McIntyre, for example, she's got videos in her initial email. She's got a video in her day 3 email, and she's got a video in her day 10 email. Because those are the beginning experiences, and those get pretty high open rates, but the open rates will dwindle over time if you don't have something that's relevant there. So you got to first and foremost figure out what the experience is and your own personal process from the moment that lead comes in, right? So if we're looking at Jessica's right now, you know, you're going to see an awesome video, short and sweet, a couple questions about their house. What do you love most about your home? How long have you lived there? Have you done any renovations or updates recently? What would you consider the best feature of your home? Awesome video, very friendly, you know, wrapping it around with text. And then you go to her day 3 email, and her day 3 email, again, she already knows what she did from the first automation to the personal email that she sent out to these people and how she's producing some sort of value. It's the script that got Jessica 5 listing appointments, by the way, in the StreetText Academy, if you want to know what she personally is doing, okay? It's not about having to use HomeBot, by the way. Everybody doesn't have to use HomeBot. And for you, it's about, yeah, you'll see in that, look at that script, how Jessica got 5 listing appointments. And then this is her day 3 that is naturally going to keep sending. So no matter what, it's a flow. It's going to continue working because she did know what she's going to do in a personal follow-up. And then again, if you go to her day 10 even, and you look at this, now she has something a little bit more in there. And I know, Wendy, you did something pretty fun I really like is, you know, are we Facebook friends yet in day 10, right? So it's having fun. These are just templates, but it's you and your brand. So how you structure the drip email campaign is all about first and foremost figuring out what you're personally going to do. And then you can start creating and customizing that process and having fun with it. These are just there for you. They're not meant to just continue to go. And we just have them templated, and they're basically just boring HTML until you put yourself in there and change it up a little bit. And I would say, you know, wrapping a little text context with video, and then always asking a question, because what you're looking for, or pointing to something where you want them to go, because what you're looking for is engagement. You're not just letting something just kind of go. You're looking for somebody to respond with a question, or you're trying to get them to go somewhere and take action. Yeah?
Yeah, that was great, Marcus. And I mean, just to put there, Jess, like she got 5 listing appointments in 7 days with that strategy. So that's really good. The other thing there, you know, that listing that you were showing that you'd done the listing ad, I mean, you've got a accepted offer on that right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So one thing to remember and to think about in the marketplace is that fewer homes are being listed right now, which means the percentage of homes being listed to percentage of buyers is pretty similar to what it was before, like 2-3 months ago. which means the market demand for the homes that are being listed and being put on the market is still really strong. So that's something to really take into consideration. And each market is going to be a little different. So look at your own statistics. But so yeah, so like Liam just posted, it's 5 weeks of inventory. Like that's nothing. So it's, you know, if you have a home that you think you can market well, you know, price it well, it's a great time to be putting it on the market. Because the percentage of listings that are on the market right now is lower. So it's an interesting time in the marketplace. So I think the people that are really moving forward with this opportunity are taking opportunity. So this is a great time to really grow, you know, your business.
Oh, it's happening. It's not like COVID's slowing some people down. I mean, I just saw this, and I'm, you know, Sarah, if you're here, I'd love to hear from you. You may not hear me, but so Sarah is in her trial with StreetText right now, and Nicole's posted this yesterday. Huge shout out to my Club Wealth coaching client, Sarah Mulford Martin, who just set her first listing appointment using StreetText on her 1 week free trial. You know, if you're not using StreetText, it's an amazing tool. You guys, it all comes down to, like, anybody can do this. And she used HomeBot in her automation. And it got, I believe, if Sarah, you're here, you can explain to us a little bit more, even Nicole. But yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Yes. Good job. Okay. Tell us about it. 'Cause it's just fun for people that are veterans, but also like you're fresh into this 5 days in and you got a listing appointment. Tell us how that happened.
I just ran the first ad, and then you helped me with setting up split test ads. And I've actually been getting a lot of people inquiring. So I used HomeBot after I checked the address in the MLS to make sure the tax record was matching up with what HomeBot was telling me, the bedrooms and the baths, and sent that to the person. And then they modified their value and made some notes in there. And so I went in from my personal email and said, you know, I noticed you modified your value and I'm happy to help. You know, if you could give me some more details, I can give you a more accurate analysis of your home, and I'm happy to come take a look. And about an hour later, my phone rang. And I just had a really normal conversation with him. I don't really use scripts. I kind of feel where the person is on the phone first. You know, I don't use the same lines over and over again with the same people. We live in a little bit of a unique community where we have a lot of country and farmers, and then I live close to a very big military base, Pax River, which is a highly intelligent base with a lot of high-ranking officers. So we have a very diverse population. So I just let people talk, and most of the time you'll get the information that you need. And I set the appointment for today at 2. So I don't know if it's luck or what, but I'm having a really good response to the ads that I'm running.
Love it. So do you have an automated video going out, or how did you use the HomeBot in this scenario?
I do not have an automated video yet. I haven't gotten that far in the setup. I just pulled their address from StreetText and put it into the HomeBot, and then sent them the value in HomeBot. And
Perfect.
Then when they give me more details, I can go into my MLS and get a little bit better value. And I also have a program that my MLS service provides called Cloud CMA. I think a lot of people are probably familiar with that, where you can do pictures and stuff. So I'll get a better idea when I go out there today. But I think the idea is to get them on the phone, get a good conversation going, and get in front of them. Just get in front of them, even if they think their house is worth a lot more than what it really is. You know, you don't know till you get there, but I think that face-to-face meeting is really important.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for sharing, and
You're
congratulations.
welcome.
Let us
Thank
know
you.
how that goes today.
I will. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, anybody else have some wins they'd like to share? You know, how's it been working? Specifically, yeah, tell us, like, open up the mic, talk to us a little bit, or even anything particularly that you pulled away from that or want more clarity on. Some of you probably are like, what's HomeBot? And that's totally cool too. We this is kind of a new integration for us, but we're hearing some really good feedback on it.
Also, if for the group, for everybody that's here, that's watching, especially if you're more comfortable with the chat, can you just put in one thing that you've learned so far today, or one thing that you've maybe taken away, like a little nugget that you thought, oh, I'm going to look more into that. Love to hear from you today, what you liked, what you'd like to learn more from, even just one little thing in the chat. I want to hear from all of you guys. That'd be awesome.
So I saw, yeah, Brian raised his hand there.
So one of the things because I'm just getting started, I just finished up the trial, just bought in because it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I've got a whole team of other realtors as well too that I can't wait to be able to also start getting them trained on different processes this way. And I have a long learning curve to go, but it's amazing. And tech kind of scares the heck out of me, but I'm learning a lot about tech. It's a lot of fun. But what I just started doing and just with the samples is whenever I would just get an address, I would still do a whole CMA. So I would pull up 3 close by sales, have a kind of, I'm trained as an appraiser as well too, by the way. So I would put that together in an envelope, put a little cover letter on there, a little bit about my marketing message, about me, just a touch in there, not a whole lot, put a business card in, put it in an envelope, drive it over to the house because I have to be in the area anyway. I'm a realtor, I'm always out. And so then I would put it in the mailbox and ring the doorbell. And then I'd step back in the front yard and people would answer the door because they didn't leave any contact data. I don't know who their name is or anything like that. I just have an address. And so then I simply say, I'm Brian, I'm a realtor, I'm your neighbor. You reached out to me last night on Facebook and you wanted to know what your home was worth. So in your mailbox is that report. And every time I've done that, I get from them. They're standing there in complete incredulous that somebody actually did something that they requested on the internet. And then it gives me that face-to-face opportunity just to be able to say, I'm Brian. And I simply say, your report's there. I know you're probably not selling your beautiful house right now. If you are, or if you know somebody that I can assist now that you know me, my card's in the envelope. And then I turn and I walk away. And what's so funny is that they're just sitting there the whole time with my envelope going, because they never expect it. It's like getting a package in your mail that you never expect. It's like getting a get well card from your friend because you had your tonsils out or whatever. It's the same kind of concept, and that's what I'm doing right now. Now, obviously, I'm going to be changing that up because I'll be learning all this other stuff. But to me, that was just logic. It's like, okay, if these people, and I'm getting so many people reaching out, that I can't possibly keep up with it. So now I'll start focusing on the people that really give me good data to truly help them. And then maybe the addresses that I just get, I train one of my other team members and start sending those leads to them so that maybe we get some listings that come into there as well too. So it's all here. It's like, boom. But trying to figure that out.
What I love about Brian though is Brian has been saying, I'm having so much fun. I'm having fun. This is fun. I'm having so much fun. Every time I'm talking to him, he's like, this is fun. So I'm like, when you love what you do and you're having fun doing it, it comes across to people. So when you look at it like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, just make it fun. Go out and find creative ways to meet people because your energy can be contagious. And that mindset of, sometimes we're stuck in the mindset and raise your hand if you might be a little bit guilty of this, that is this gonna work? And if you're thinking, is this gonna work? Then you're carrying that with you in the way that you're communicating with people. So you need to, at the end of the day, this is about meeting people. You have new people in your mailbox every single morning. The game is about meeting people. So make it a game and have fun with it and know it is going to work. And right now, this is the only way a lot of us can meet people, online. So you're ahead of the game where a lot of people are twiddling their thumbs waiting for things to pass. You've been collecting people in your funnel. So when you go out to do your communication, like do what you need to do, jump up and down, pump your hands over your head, get your energy high, get fun injected into you, and write the email or knock on the door or pick up the phone. Because if you're going into a conversation with a mindset that, is this going to work? You're underlying your communication, you don't even realize it, with that sense of not confidence. So when you do it confidently, it changes the whole communication that you're sending across to people. And people are looking for someone who's going to confidently represent them in the crisis like now. So if you come across as somebody who's confident right now, you're a godsend to some people who are really worried about what's happening right now. So do what you need to do. Do the jumping jacks. Like in the office here, we're doing a push-up challenge, which I'm going to join people. I sent an emoji of me doing pushy, like a bit emoji of me doing burpees, but I will actually do some push-ups and join it. but do what you need to do to get your energy high, to communicate in a way that people are looking for. People are looking for somebody who brings the energy right now. And I know sometimes you're going to have to fake it, but once you do it, your action is going to propel you to the next action. Because sometimes we sit back and we wait for the energy to hit us. Stop it, jump up and down, and just do it and fuel off that energy, knowing it's going to work.
Yeah,
That's
really
so
quickly
good.
on that one, I'd say just kind of on top of what Ira's saying, it's perfect. I think confidence, in a sense, looks like competence, right? Is the ability, if you're confident, people have that confidence in your abilities, right? If you seem unconfident in your own abilities, how are you going to be able to represent then what you're doing? So, I think Deborah said it here too, fake it till you make it. To a point that's right. You don't lie and BS, of course, right? That's never going to get you anywhere in business. Well, it gets you a starting ground in business, but it doesn't last long, right? But the ability to make sure that you are, exactly like I was saying, confident in your abilities, confident that this will work. Coming to these meetings and seeing how many people it is working for should breed that confidence as well, right? And just the understanding that it's not an immediate solution. You don't just turn this thing on and everybody get their first listing appointment the first 7 days. It happens. It obviously does happen, but that's not what happens for everybody. It's building blocks. You put the blocks together and you look back at the foundation you built, and all of a sudden, the stories just kind of start adding themselves. So just keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, I mean, if you have to fake it till you make it, give her. But, most importantly, just be confident in your own abilities and know that this is an opportunity to meet new people, start conversations, answer their questions, build relationships. Sales come from that, right? So it doesn't start with the sale, it starts with the relationship.
I love this.
That's great. And Ira, I mean, so that's really good, Logan. Like, thanks for that. It's so true to remember that too. And then, to you, Brian, the fact that Ira sees you as such a fun person is such a compliment coming from Ira, because he is a very fun person. You should see him do his skit of his 3-year-old. It's good. Julianne, you had a question. Julianne Pickering, did you want to ask your question? Oh, maybe unmute yourself first.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First off, I'd like to say that I have run the listing ad, the one that has the V1 in it, that has such good stats with incredible, amazing results. I have run that ad for, I guess, 3 weeks now. And so anyway, that's just a really good ad. If you have a listing, use that. It is a no-brainer. And then the question I had, I was going to do another ad this morning, and then a sign came up that said that my StreetText was not connected to my Facebook any longer, and it's never done that before. How did that happen, and how do I fix that?
Yeah, I'll quickly take that, Juliana, unless John looks like John's probably better on to answer that, but I'll just really quickly touch on that. Sometimes what it can be is changing your password, changing things on Facebook, and then we've lost certain permissions. It sounds like your account is simply disconnected. So what we'll do is we can send you a link. And right when you first joined StreetText, you had 4 questions or a starting point that said start here, and you just quickly connect your account. We'll send you a link for you to be able to do that again, and you shouldn't have that problem anymore. For anybody who's seeing that same issue, reach out to either your coach or support right away. We can get a link sent over to you immediately and get that rectified, and then you'll get in and turn any ads you want back on.
Awesome.
Shouldn't be a problem. And we'll certainly have our dev team kind of look in to see anything that may have happened that could have caused that. But it sounds like it's a simple button.
Okay, thank you.
Brian,
Yeah, Facebook has a unique code that they give you when you connect to StreetText, and they did a fun update where they randomly change the code, but they don't tell us. And so the only way to do it is to create a new connection to re-request the code, and then the connection's back again. But that's just part of their fun little, keeping us on our toes thing.
So Brian, I want to acknowledge you on those address onlys. And if you could, please share the template that you're using and sending out in the insider group. I want to also acknowledge for you guys that are looking at these address onlys as just partial information. If you're in the United States, you can pull up tax records and you can cross-reference that information on Facebook. using an advanced search. Now, what I believe that every single one of you should be doing is profiling these people on Facebook. Sometimes our system does it for you, but the best thing you could do is use the advanced search by location, find those people on Facebook. And if you are doing the Facebook influencer model that we discussed and using Facebook as a CRM, you're going to want to friend request them and add them into a list, as well as send them a message. And if your automations and emails are reflecting that, it makes it very much naturally for them to go to their Facebook Messenger. It also, this is why BombBomb screen recording becomes so helpful, because if you can actually show them where the message request folder is, now you can begin conversations with people, especially via email back on Facebook. And if your letters and your mailers reflect that you're doing that as well, and especially what Brian's doing, I can see if he did that type of thing where they're like so blown away by that content, and then he's also say, hey, PS, check your message request folder. I sent you a message on Facebook. You can pull that back in. And we've, you know, I know there's so much, but we can take that link that they submitted their address in, disguise it, and put that back in the letter and get them to be a complete lead, as well as through Messenger, right? So just a thought process. You want to do this anyways because you want to humanize the process. You want to see this as a real person. If it's just an address sitting in your submissions form, you're never going to look at them as much more than an address. But when you actually go and profile that person, see mutual friends, likes, interests, you're more likely to connect them and take action. So I want to challenge all of you to look at these address onlys a little bit differently and consider creating a system behind that. A lot of these people aren't going to accept that friend request. That's totally fine, but now you have them in a list, and that list will grow and grow and grow. And naturally, people are going to start accepting it. So just something to think about. Think about your mailers a little bit creatively, because if you take the Brian approach with that mailer and then you add in a little Facebook twist and you're looking to create influence on Facebook, it is the know, like, and trust model. So how do you get them to know and like you outside of, you know, getting to meet you? Get on Facebook, because that's where they're going to be sitting for an hour or two a day. Your business page, like Leanne said, it's great when you can get them there, but most business pages don't sit in a newsfeed. I rarely see a business page in my newsfeed. I see everybody who's connected to me in my newsfeed. And where are people spending time in their newsfeed? You're paying Facebook for that click. You're paying Facebook for that new person. So coming full circle, the only way to create influence with that person is to bring them back to where they found you personally.
I have something to add.
Yes.
So I'm huge at making sure people open my emails, and I'm sad when they don't, because we do a lot of work, you know, on these video CMAs. We want to make sure that they're actually, because the people that actually look at my video CMAs, I have conversations with. The people that don't look at them, I don't have conversations with. So Facebook friend requesting is huge. I friend requested a guy the other day that wasn't opening my stuff. And pretty soon I see that he's liking my rock crawling thing. So, I mean, like, I love the dog park and I love rock crawling. So I have that plus business stuff on my page. So I see him liking all my, you know, buggy line stuff. And I'm like, cool. So then I resent the video and the message through Facebook Messenger. And he finally saw it, because he hadn't been seeing it before, but now he did, and now we're talking about it. So, which is cool. I like that. If it doesn't get opened up in Follow Up Boss, I go to BombBomb. If it doesn't get opened in BombBomb, I go to Facebook. And I want them to see what we're working on, because they're the one that wanted to know. And if they're not opening it, it's going to spam. I'm a spammer, and that's where my stuff goes.
And you know what, Wendy, the cool thing about that too is when you take that action and friend request them, you can put them in a list, and you can call that list hasn't opened my email yet, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, here's the thing, and I know a lot of you guys are starting to do this, but these lists, you can put them in multiple places. So if you go into my friends, I can put any one of these people into a list. And when you log into your Facebook from your desktop, here's the friends list. You can create multiple lists, And every single person you can put into multiple lists and layers. It doesn't have to be just one list at a time. So when you go into my in trial, I have all these people I placed in this list. Did everyone accept my friend request? No. But I have them in this list now, and I can create content specifically to this list. And the people that become my friends, naturally, I'm checking to see what's the last message that we had, because if you put your mouse over them and go to message, you can track what they saw. She opened this message on Monday at 2 o'clock. Now it becomes the ability to leverage Messenger and your influence model there, where you can send video, where you can send voicemail, where you can send PDF, documents, HomeBot, anything on Messenger, and you're never going to lose that translation. Right? So it's an awesome model when you're considering how to create and initiate and maintain the relationship. Your emails do what they do, but a lot of them get lost in translation over time and the open rates dwindle. Okay? Just a thought. All right, I know we're at the end. Anyone that want to share anything or something coming to mind, something they want more clarity about, maybe something they really loved or took away from this mastermind? What would you like to see moving into our next mastermind? We'd love to hear it, because that's what we can kind of get your feedback now, so we can kind of prepare for what you need and want next week.
So have you guys tried to, you know how we have text going out through our funnel? Has anybody tried to put video in there too, like the same video that's through the email that they may not open, but send it through the text? Or would it be just, it would have to be the BombBomb link, right?
Yeah,
the video.
It would. And I almost
or get a Bitly one so it's shorter, and you can do that as well.
I would almost use that personally instead of the automation. And then I would almost consider your second text message pointing back to the email that you sent. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is Julie on behalf of Wendy. Just want to make sure you received the email that we sent to you regarding your home value. Right?
Right,
So
which
now,
I have,
okay.
but I was thinking video is better, but I can't send a raw video through StreetText. So it would have to be through my phone, but then that's a different number. And I'm trying to do everything through Julie's number because they're already texting that client. So, so maybe just the BombBomb link or Bitly link that's shorter, and see if they open it.
Yeah, I'll throw this one out here for you. You already said you're using Follow Up Boss. Follow Up Boss, you've got the app that you can turn around and send them a message right out of the app, just like Lion Desk. So the number that would show up would still be Julie's number, not your personal.
Wait,
And
what? Wait.
also,
How do I change that number to Julie's number?
inside Follow Up Boss,
Uh-huh.
it sends, you can text out of Follow Up Boss.
Right.
So when you pull up your contact and send out of that, and it sends out of the Follow Up Boss app, that's the number that should display on the other end. I do that with my Lion Desk all the time, and that way it automatically logs and you can track it.
Okay, because I would love to text out of Follow Up Boss. That way it's tracking it in there too. But it's a totally different number and a totally different assistant because it's tied to Ylopo. So, but I would love to have it the same number as Julie. So I just have to manually put there what it is.
Copy and paste. You got a Follow Up Boss app, I'm pretty sure. So you just copy and paste it right in there. I do it like that. And then Brian, I sent you a message. I put it in the group. If you're gonna go out and do address only, I always say make your trip worth the while. So I would turn around, if you don't already have a default one, go ahead and make just a message saying, hey, it's Brian. I want to let you know as the one that sent you the home information. Get your face in the place. Let them know you're the guy. Because sometimes they look out the window and being like, I ain't open the door for that guy. So if, like, I just was skip tracing while we're sitting here. That's my reminder. I do a weekly skip trace, and it told me it updated a couple of hundred new emails into my address onlys and some phone numbers. So now I'll set those up to go out. But if you're going to go somewhere and you drop something on the door, they need to know it was you. So why not go ahead and do that? And then, backing up, piggybacking on Marcus, that's the video I'd send. Hey, it's Brian. Just want you to know I'm that guy that left you something at your door. Make it funny. Just say I'm not the stalker, this and that, whatever. But if you have any questions, I'd love to contact with you. The stuff is there, and you're already going out there. Use your time wisely. You're there, so make the most of it. And even if it's just a default one, that's good, because they need to know it's you. They see it's you. It's genuine, and now you're likely to get more engagement. Because like I said, until they engage, nothing's happening the way you want it to.
Yeah, thanks, Leon. Thanks, Leon. That's why I'm rebuilding the website as well too. It'll all tie together. It's just, you know, as you know, it's just so everything comes flying at you, and you're also selling houses. You're out there showing clients, and it's like it just comes flying at you. So I'm moving as fast as I possibly can. But that was also a great advice all the way around. I can't wait to spend a little bit more time just learning some of this stuff, because you're blowing my mind with when you start talking. I'm like, I have so much to learn.
Reach out to me. I'm here. You find me on StreetText Insider. If you notice when you go in there, everybody responds and answers. And like I said, I get some of my best information from someone like you that's new to the system. Because what I always tell people is this: I look at how StreetText is designed to run, but I look at every system like, okay, that's what it does. What else can I do with it? Dare to be different. So if I look at something and I can piggyback off it and go, oh, you know, and look at it, or if I see something that Wendy's doing or Stacy's doing, and it's our areas are different. Everything's the same, but you know, when I go, it's different. There's different things to do. So if I can piggyback off an idea in there to make it work the way I do, and you don't have to, like I said, and Logan's my baseball buddy, don't swing for the fences. Base hit, score runs. Go a little bit at a time. Do what's working for you. Add to it. Add to it. Add to it. At the end of the day, you'll have a complete system, and never be afraid to tweak it. I'll back up a couple steps. I'm fine with it. But the idea behind it is I'm always going to try to be the most efficient with my time. If I'm getting in a car and I'm driving somewhere, I went to show a house to a client yesterday, 70 miles away. And while I was waiting for him, I videoed some houses in the neighborhood just to get like the divisions. So what I'll do is I'll throw it in my Premier Houses site, Puget Sound site, saying houses here and there, whatever. I'm going to always get something out of what I do. So like when you go do those and you're dropping stuff at the houses, don't let them think that, because like right now, I can't laugh when I say this, people are stealing packages. You don't need somebody to think you're out here stealing their UPS or FedEx package. So when you drop something, you ring the doorbell and leave, some people think, oh, FedEx guy. They go grab it, oh, what's this? They might or might not look at it. If it's a kid, they set it down, might not tell the parent. But if you get the information and you got the little video and you can come into Facebook behind it, say, hey, I'm the guy that left the package the other day. Now, if they say they did, because dot a little further outside the box, if it got thrown away, they might say, oh, well, I never got it. Now you've got the engagement. Now you can hit them online with what it is that you're doing. So never take it for granted that, oh, it got delivered. It might have got trashed. But now that you've got the engagement, go ahead and get it to them on Facebook or whatever. And you're still, you know, getting the message to the masses.
The only difference is that in COVID right now, everybody answers their door. So they're actually putting it in their hands and it's walking with them in the house. So that's the benefit of COVID right now. When everybody goes back to work, yeah, this whole process needs to be done a little bit differently with a lot more follow-up. But I love the concept of reverse Facebooking, because if they are on, then I can send them, hey, you know, I just wanted to say hello. You can always friend me as well too, and I'll be able to get some different feedback that way as well too. So yeah, I totally get it. It's just a different way to be in front of them when they're choosing who they want to be in front of them right now by going online and looking at other things. This was just a way for them to be able to say, hey, this guy's only here for 1.5 minutes or 27 seconds or whatever it is. But in every case, they've answered the door. So I've been able to say it's behind you in your mailbox, what you've asked me for. And
are you asking them to like you on Facebook and the stuff you're leaving there with them?
No. So I had, everything comes at you very, very fast. So I have the template, but then the template needs to be addition to it as well too. And I'm just learning those parts right now. There's a long ways to go with it.
Pull us something new every day. I love it. I can't wait to share that mailer template, and then we can all take from it. We can all add to it. We can start, you know, I think everything that you want, guys, just throw it in the discussion feature of the StreetText Insider group, and let's create discussion and around it and pull it in and make it gold for everybody. And that, you know, including the videos, by the way, put your little video in the video challenge. Let's get feedback from everybody, because that's the only way to learn. And just come to the classes. You know, you don't have to participate in the beginning. You just be a fly on the wall. Conversion, add to classes. We have them all. Mastermind, the custom ad class. You might just want to sit in there and see what people are talking about and see what Logan's building, right? But always come to this meeting. All right, guys, we'll let you go. I know it's 10 past. Thanks for attending. Share with us what you loved in the insider group, and we'll pull it out for next week's meeting.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya. Thanks, Marcus.